Hello everyone, it's Ariom, aka Yuno, aka the Firefish guy, and today we have the first Moralltach monthly report for Moralltach monthly number 8. I top for the event, and I'm gonna show you all the lists from not just the top 8, but also Bubble, so up to here. Except Otto, because he didn't want to send me his list, which is cool. And yeah, this is the top 8, but this only Chalong only counts the round robin part. For first place overall was Ultra Plant, then second place was Poison, then I and Kizaru top 4, and then the rest was top 8. Shoutouts also to CRL for giving me the tiebreaker, otherwise I wouldn't have topped. And also, look at that Bushel score, oh my god. It's untied. The closest is Talon, who luckily didn't top. Otherwise, he probably would have also top. Well, probably I would have fit in, but not Yaga. But anyways, going into the decks. First place, Ultra Plant Cat. Um, oh, yeah. I just noticed he not only changed the Heartland Draco in over Giant Hand, but he also swapped out the Upstart Goblins for Maxis. That makes sense to me. Feels perfectly reasonable. Honestly, the life point gain in Upstart Goblin is a bit of an issue, and Maxi is pretty much live versus almost every deck. The only deck it really sucks versus is like spellbooks, I think. Everything else special summons to some extent, and even spellbooks special summon, but usually if they do, you're already dead, so it doesn't really matter much. But yeah, he also said Giant End didn't come up pretty mature for him, so he swapped it for Heartland Draco. Next, second place. This is really exciting. So basically, the idea was floating around about Cyber Dragon artifacts once someone read the Cyber Network. And back then, the Cyber Dragon people were pretty casual. They sometimes played Cyber Networks, they sometimes played artifacts, but they never considered running the two together. At least no one that did anything competitive with the deck. But basically, the deck works like this: you summon a Cyber Dragon on the board, any of these, use Cyber Network, banish a bunch of Cyber Dragons, and then pop it with Ignition or Double Cyclone or 11th Catastrophe. And Cyber Network triggers, summon a bunch of Cyber Dragons, pops all your back rows, so you have artifacts maybe, pop those. OTK, if you do this during the opponent's turn, and you TK next turn. It's a really cool deck. It's also really, really hard to stop. Basically, you need to MST the Cyber Network as soon as they activate the effect the first time. Otherwise, you're generally kind of boned. There are really no side deck great answers besides MST, because like Lighting Prison and Mirror, Vanities, all those floodgates, they're probably gonna get destroyed by the insane amount of back row removal they run. Uh, Stuff like System Down, they can just bring it back with Cyber Network. Hand traps, they don't really care about any of those particularly much. So it's a really, really hard deck to side for. That's kind of why I feel like it might be meta tier and not just high rogue, like low meta, but still in the same camp as like Madolche or Costellars or Evil Swarms. The only issue I see with the deck seriously is that it has a really bad cat matchup, in my opinion, because they run a lot of back row removals, so they can force the Cyber Network early, which is the deck's weakness. But yeah, shoutouts to Poison. Next we have my list, top 4, Constellar Artifact. No one ever topped the Moralltach monthly with Constellars, so I took the challenge. This is the exact same deck I profiled, so go check that out. Yeah, I liked every single card in the main deck and extra deck except for Honest, which sucked sucked so much ass. Oh my god. I never used it. I never used it. Like switching it out for like the one option is Dark Hole, but it's kind of just like better honest, but still would have been mid. So I would definitely side the Dark Hole though, and I would probably also side the honest because they are good versus combo decks, just not versus control decks, and not all combo decks like Eternity doesn't care about honest. Um, what else I would consider putting in? Honestly, either one upstart or one MST, as weird as those are as one offs. There's really nothing else I would add. Pretty much everything else felt perfectly fine. Vanities did great, especially since I've seen a lot of combo this tournament, as you will see in the rest of the top 8, because first place, second place, and one of the fourth top 4 decks are control. Everything else is combo. Well, mine is mid range. Cyberfuck is aggro, and Cat is aggro control. But yeah, everything else is combo. Next up, we have the top 4 and top 8 list from Kizaru and Lived. Nimble Mermaids, the new discovery of the format. They played the exact same list. They loved it together. So really, really interesting to see. You will see it in action and also side refracts during my replays, which I might do at the end of the video, might do in another video, but I will show you my replays with Constellar Artifacts. I had some pretty cracked hands, but this is basically like Mermels in the format are an aggro deck. Nimble Mermel is a combo deck. You go first, you make Herald, which is a $7 card, fucking hell, and maybe you recycle back the Dragoons. You summon Abyss Gaios, which is also $7, fuck, and maybe you even summon Mulling Glacia. That's kind of the gist of the deck. Try to combo your nuts off. Maybe Bahamut Shark, Beastsphere, all that good shit. Try to make the biggest board as possible. Going second, your Marmel, so you are really good going second still. And yeah. Next in the top 8, we have Mythic Rulers, which was piloted by, I think, Jay? Or Yaga? Yeah, Jay. Mythic Rulers by Jay. Full build. I don't have much experience with Mythic Rulers, so I cannot comment much. Yeah. Next, Chaos Swarm by Zitalos, which is also part of Who Needs Meta. So they made an IRL deck profile. I will try to remember to link it. But it's basically Bill's dot deck plus other win cons for decks that can out wheels. It's definitely better than Lightstorm Rulers. Definitely. Strong is it? Well, you will have to wait to see in my tier list video how strong I feel like the deck is. But yeah, definitely a good deck. Also, it's really nice seeing Phoenix Wing Bling Blast. Phoenix Wing Wind Blast. Fuck, I had that card name. But yeah, really cool to see in the format for you Edison players. And next, yeah, there's also the same list for top 8. And finally, for top 8, we have Yaga's Hieratic Rulers plus hands for some reason. I guess it's because they really feel the evil swarms. They're good banish fodder, I guess. Not really sure, but whatever. It worked. If it worked, it worked. Oops. And I'm back. Phone call. Hope I can edit that out of the video. Unfortunately, this is a screenshot, not a dueling book stuff, so I cannot check out these cards because I don't know what they do. But yeah, cool high rogue deck. Hope it gets more results so it can prove itself. But problem mainly is that it's a bit inconsistent. So yeah, these were the top 8 decks. Moving on to bubble decks, we have what's this? I put this in order. Orchid with Hat. This is Chappelle's list, card for card. No, he didn't even change the set deck. That's cool. That's the best Hat list in my opinion. That's the one I profiled. Totally cool. um, Next we have another Mythic Ruler by Molson Canadian. It's a bit different from the other list. Yeah, like doesn't play Reckless, for example. There's more mill cards, like Courier Bandit, and plays more Phoenix Wing Blink Blast, which is cool. Triskill Drain, I guess it makes sense with the Wing Blasts. You have more discard fodders. Two White Stones, two Mythic Quadra Dragons. I don't know Mythic Rollers. Okay, let's just move on. Next we have CRL with Infinity. He pretty much just played the Sehabi's list from the NAWCQ with a bit of a different side deck. Yeah, that's pretty much the best list, the best historic list, the one that held up the most, pretty much. Sehabi's Infinity. Like with Corey McDuffie's list, it's great to begin, but we've kind of moved on past that. But Sehabis is still a deck that you can just pick up, play, do well. Don't really need to worry about it. Don't really need to innovate it, change it. It's good. What more else can you say? Next, we have gadgets. Don't ask me how they got there. This was Arya. He told me to roast his weird choices. Honestly, the weird choices is playing gadgets and bubbling with it. That's really impressive. uh, yeah, shoutouts, shoutouts, my man. I don't see anything particularly wrong. I do have a list that I have particular problems with later on, but the fact that it top is really impressive. But it had the lowest butchels by far, so we'll get there. Next up, extra power with Bujins. It's his deck. I love the guy because he plays one Hirume, and Hirume is so fucking expensive. So when I profile the deck, I will only need to buy one. Thank you. Thank you. Other than that, pretty standard. The only weird thing is he's playing Forbidden Dress over Lance. If you can notice that. That's the wrong Forbidden card. There's Lance in the side deck. Yeah. Also, weird that he didn't play any of the other Bujin rank 4s. Like, yeah, they're not amazing, but they still are Bujin Incarnation targets. So that's a bit odd, but whatever. He's the Bujin expert on the server. And next we have shoutouts to Monkey Fight TCG, the tier list guy. Sorry. He played Noble Knight artifacts. Noble Knights and artifacts have a lot of anti-synergy points. However, Noble Knights suck. And artifacts are great. So, yeah. They do have a bit of some synergies, mainly Actor. He gives you rank 5 access in the late game. But, yeah. Shoutouts to him. Bubble. That's still pretty good. Especially very good for Noble Knights. And finally, we have Dabson's 6 Samurais. I have so many questions. One, why 2 copies of Shian's Most Senile? It's fucking Rota. You have 3 targets. But why? It makes no sense. Next up, the trap lineup. What the fuck? Where's Bottomless? Where's Torrential? Okay, Torrential is pretty bad in this deck. Where's Solemn Warning? Why 2 Deep Prisons? Okay, I know why Deep Prisons. He tested a lot versus Battling Boxers. And his deck really doesn't have enough to lead Yoke, so okay, I guess it makes sense. And there were a lot of Battling Boxers pilots in the tournament. like four. None of them top. We'll get there. Not today, but yeah, we will talk about bottling boxers in the future, definitely. And also 3 copies of Breakthrough Skill. That's so many copies of Breakthrough Skill. I've not seen a deck run 3 copies of Breakthrough Skill ever, pretty much. Like, two is fine. But yeah, the problem with Six Samurais in the format is they have 3 boss monsters they want to make, and none of them are good in the format. Like Beast is good versus Spellbooks, and only Spellbooks, and Spellbooks play Fiendish Chain and the Priestess. So it's not like Beast is an auto-win card or anything. Sheehan, it triggers Sanctum. That sucks. Like, a lot. You can't really negate Sanctum with it. Not like you can, but it still dies. And Barkion, besides the fact that it's unlimited, it also destroyed Sanctum. So yeah, Samurais are not looking very good, honestly. But shoutouts to him for someone pulling 4-2 out of his ass. But still, his his bullshot is pretty miserable. So yeah, it makes sense. Like it's almost the lowest. That's the third lowest of anyone who didn't forfeit. But yeah, still, shoutouts for him for getting this far. That's cool. And it did raise my impression on Six Samurais a little bit. I don't think it's casual anymore. Okay, I'm not sure if it's low rogue anymore, but like I'm not 100% sure as I was before that it's casual. Now I'm not sure, basically. But yeah. All right, I'll grab the replays for my Constellar matches. So yeah, that was top 8 and topping and bubbling stuff. Next up, Constellar replays. First round versus CRL's Infinity. Just gonna fast forward. I only have rewatched one of the replays because it was really cool. Everything else I don't remember. I opened kind of shit, at least on the monster side, but Vanities is pretty strong, I think. Oh, it wasn't this the game that I just won of Vanities? Okay. Oh, yeah, I can just make plays here and drill a good card. Mind control, okay. That's a lot of back and forth. I didn't have a second Stellar Engrave. Let's see if Honest does anything this game. Pass. Okay, Bear. Bear was pretty good in this tournament. I salaried it out often, but when I didn't, it was usually pretty good. Here, as usual, just make the aggro plays. I forgot that Big Attack only is a hard once per turn. Here, just hit now. It's not like Infinity runs battle traps or anything. Not sure why I did that. Oh, honestly, it's something. Oh my god. I did not see that coming. I did not see that coming. Can you? Oh, thank you. Okay, good hand. Okay, no, never mind. I was looking. This is Wendy, who I think he dropped out. Oh, he was playing Fire Kings. Fire King hands. You just aggro push. Pretty much always better to summon artifacts as soon as possible, especially if you can make play these. And if there's no targets, like use it in the end phase, it's good. The legendary play this bounce thing. Okay, that wolf bark just cannot catch a break, can it? Not sure why I did that. Probably I don't have black ships, so probably just get a draw. All of the sombras in the world. That's annoying. So long, bozo. That wolf bark just cannot catch a break, can it? I lost that one. I was clearing backrows for safety, but that didn't matter much. I'm not sure if that's the correct thing to do, but wanted to be a bit aggro. So the crow for the win. An eye for an eye. Alright. Next, who do we have? Zitalos. Zitalos? Zitalos. Zitalos. I don't know how to pronounce it, but yeah, I keep going first. I notice a pattern. But yeah, using agility because just safety to avoid catching like breakthrough. Getting that tanky back. Oh, sorry, forgot to fast forward. Never mind, not sure why I did the most tanky that. That seems like definitely a mistake. Oh yeah, because I double second. Right, right. Michael, of course, as always. But yeah, speaking of boxers, I was loving the deck for for the next tournament tomorrow. Elimination, exit on elimination, but I found a cooler deck that I want to bring, so never mind on that. It's still unoptimized basically. Oh yeah, I remember this game. This is peak vanity's emptiness gameplay. Unga boonga, unga boonga. Start making my guys fives to avoid like breakthrough skill later. He drew the Cree at the last second. Too bad. Next we have the coolest match of all. Me versus Liv, the uh, number one. Prefer this over number one? The number two. Liv prefers the number two. But yeah, pretty much opened the shit. More importantly, I drew the shit. Holy shit. That's a nice follow up. But probably setting the Moralltach was a mistake. But here you can see Nimble Mail in action using that Herald. And here I was extremely lucky it didn't drop Moving Alicia on me. Lucky for me, it doesn't play Black Rose. Well, maybe it would have been better to get Black Rose because I have Artifact. I'm not entirely sure why I didn't go for Gaius here. Like, really, I don't know. But yeah, I pretty much drew the perfect, all the monsters. And then I had the Call of the Hunted for December. To OTK him with Volcasaurus. So let's go. Here you can see him coming off more. Other really strong card in the deck. Look at that board. What am I gonna do? Luckily for me, I have Soul Charge. So I can make ladies. Now this was a really big brain move. I got back the Tenki for follow-up. And then I drew a card. Didn't really matter because I would have gotten the other one anyways. Like I didn't matter. The Rota didn't matter. The Sombra did digging me towards the Sombra. But yeah, pretty much I drew all monsters, and then I could combo my nuts off. Breakthrough for the Gaius. And that's game. That's precisely game. It was 3800 versus 1k plus the 2600 were from Volk. That was big brain for me. Not to brag or anything. Next, there's a lot of replays I need to count. This was versus the main protagonist of the Hut server, Ultra Planet. Lost. No big surprise there. Honestly, mostly just shocked. I got 1-2, then not. I got 2-1, then not 2-0. But yeah, turns out Soul Charge is a pretty good card. Even if I couldn't take much advantage of it here. And here, as always, get to play this. Hey, this is so fucking strong. I would know. I play it. Yeah, let me see. Just some bit down. And then in case this happened to me, I got the penalties, and that's game. As always, please. And yeah, I cannot really deal with that. Didn't have anything for for the playlist. Alright, next match versus Poison with side effect. I I think I subconsciously threw game three because I wanted to win, but I also wanted him to top because I wasn't entirely sure about the top if I lost. Like it was very likely, but not entirely predictable. So I still wanted to win. Here I kind of messed up on the vanities emptiness rolling, so in the end phase I told him to get the double second back that he wasted on it. Normal summon Moralltach, let's go. Tribute summon. Moralltach Gaming. Moralltach Gaming. Oh. Here I misplayed because I forgot that it was under duality, so I was fearing the Altanin. I had a big brain fart. So I bounced the core and stuff to avoid it getting used for Altanin summon. That was a quick win, either way. Honestly, getting rid of the Saber Dragon early might have been the correct play just for the network. Here I misconnect. Dodging and weaving all the artifacts like a pro. Here at the Banfart, and here is where I knew I fucked up. Also, it's machine. Fun fact. Could have gone for Moralltach. He noticed, but he didn't for some reason. And here at the top, the god top deck. And here I also had the god top deck. He also had the top god deck, top, the god top deck. And here I went for a core 4 game. Let's go. So yeah, that was the latter, the round robin section. Next, we have the top 8 match versus Lift again, or Livid. I don't know. It was nice seeing him after much time, him and Kizaru. But yeah, this went exactly as before. Let him attack because, well, if he had seemed like the better choice. Because I didn't know that Atlanteans still triggered in damage step. Like by the time it triggered, it was still damage step. I mean, so that was quick. Hey, at least here the artifacts did something. Pro tip when playing against mermals and especially nimble males, don't blind MST. You will see that here. How you do it. There we go. And that's how you do it. Didn't want to bounce back the pike, so. And didn't want the arrow to stay on the field. I should have taken a shot every time someone played this. Or an opponent someone played this. But I'm a bit too um, in need of balance to drink. I can't really afford to fall down. I have a cast on my foot. Broke my ankle. But yeah, that was very, very quick. Last game, Lost versus Poison again. In this tournament, in the top 8 section, there really were no revenges, as far as I'm aware of. Pretty much every loss in round robin repeated itself. Here, unfortunately, I was forced to use Terrace effect. I didn't want to, but that's how Terrace works. It's mandatory, baby. This was a big brain think move. This was another big brain move on his behalf. I also back to Tiras because I wanted the second Constellar Engrave, the extra Constellar Engrave or somewhere. Gee, I wonder if Honesty is gonna come up. That was kind of funny. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. but putting in the fence was a bit of a mistake. In attack, attacking with Moralltach was a bit greedy. He was coming up big time here. Unfortunately, just was not enough. Tribute someone Cyber Dragon. Let's go. Yeah, this was a bit of a blowout. Yep, can't deal with ladies. So yeah, that was Moralltach Monthly number 8 report. Leave a like, join the Discord, join the Hot Discord, subscribe, leave a comment, hit the bell, and goodbye.